Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And remember, today is a brand new day, and this is a brand new moment. And that's true throughout your entire life. The challenge that many people face is that they live in a past present or a future past. Much of what you think is your life is based on what you remember and what you've experienced, and not what you actually know in the present moment. Today I have with me the energy of my guardian angel John, who says that silence is the chamber where the eternal may be found. And my guardian angel John has been with me since I was about 20 years of age, when I first consciously encountered him. And over these last 5 years, where I've been actively working with my guides, my angels, and other ascended masters, and allowing them to communicate through me, the lessons and information he's been giving me have become more refined and certainly more beneficial for my well-being and the well-being of those that he teaches through me, as do the other ascended masters. This is our Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. This concept needs to be understood, this idea that silence is the chamber of the eternal. And what he told me to explain about silence is that it's kind of like space. You look around the room you're in right now, and you see the chairs and the tables and the furniture, and you see the bowls of food, and you see lights, you see windows. All of these things, even the building you're in, are all contained or containing space. The most dominant characteristics of the divine is that it is infinite and without end. Everything within the divine, because it is allegedly all-knowing, all-powerful, and everywhere present, which I personally believe is true, then its definitions must be that it includes everything within itself, including you. You are contained within it. You're in space. Everything around you, the planets, the stars, galaxies, nebulae, electrons, protons, neutrons, everything that they move through is space. Now, humanity, he tells me, has been investigating matter for a very long time to try and figure out what makes matter work. Why is up, up? Why is down, down? Why is hard, hard, soft, soft? Humanity, he says, has been trying to figure out matter for a long time, but has not directed sufficient enough attention towards this space that contains and confines all matter into specific positions and order of functionality. That all matter throughout all time and all space, including time and space, are contained within infinite space. He says that in that infinite space, all knowledge, all wisdom, all truth can become available if you are not attached to a particular aspect of matter being the only definitive point of perception of what you are, what life is, what matter is. The understanding that in being able to align your consciousness to infinite space, you move into this chamber of eternal silence that contains within it all that is in the realm of existence as you perceive it to be as the physical dimension. That the physical dimension, all that you know of, is contained within this chamber of eternal space. It is important that you further understand that your ability to pay attention to that space, not as a measurable phenomena of matter, which is what you tend to do as you evaluate matter based on matter itself, you tend to ignore the space in which matter is contained, including your body, including your thoughts, including your future and your past. They are all contained within this infinite space. Your body is not capable of becoming one with infinite space, as your body is a localized point of matter, a condensation of consciousness, localized to a finite point contained within that space. So, in truth, every single living human and organism upon this planet is contained within eternal space. Your mind, your thinking mind, the thoughts that you possess, the memories that you harbor from your past experiences are also contained within that space. Your individualized awareness, when you perceive or evaluate, weigh, measure, or analyze, you move into the experience of being an individualized point contained within that space, what your sciences call the ego, or the awareness. The soul is a finite manifestation in this infinite chamber of space, and that the soul's greatest longing is to return to that infinite space, to experience what you are as the infinite and not simply as the finite. There's a very different experience of being in that consciousness than there is as your individualized nature allows you to experience. If it were understood that you could experience yourself as this infinite space without the confines of your past, without the structure of your body being the points from which you identify what you are, then the perception of your being will come from a very different place than what you have defined in terms of time, space, and matter. In the condition where you are able to surrender your finite perception of your individualized identity, that you are able to expand and comprehend the possibility that you are infinite space containing within yourself all that exists in the illusionary realm of matter, which is quite real from the experience of believing that you are matter. But the experience of being space, simply being aware that you are space with no thought, no memory, no individualized form as a means of reflecting or identifying yourself as a specific thing. The statement, "be still," illuminates the conception that in stillness, this limitless, eternal, immortal, all-knowing, and all-powerful perception of being can be experienced as the self, without the need for definition. But it is also important that the moment you define the space as anything, you become the definition that you define it as, and you lose yourself in the definition rather than find yourself in the experience of being. When this one was about to terminate the manifestation of this form many years ago, it was under the illusion that he was a certain definition of space, defined in terms of beliefs and ideas that placed him into the position where he experienced himself as meaningless, unimportant, and valueless. And those definitions of the self, which are not true of the nature that he was, caused suffering, as separation from what you are will always cause suffering. When he was given a conception greater than his suffering, his perception of self expanded beyond the space of the limiting perceptions that he held in the consciousness of his awareness. And any of you that would choose to change the concepts of perception that limit your experiential preference of what you are will find yourself in suffering and in confusion, as anything that is not in alignment with your true nature will cause discomfort. Any perception, belief, or action that is not in alignment with your true perception of what you are will cause suffering. The statement, "Be still and know I am God," is a statement where the individual consciousness has relinquished a finite definition of the self as being a body or a series of beliefs or ideas, and allows itself to expand limitlessly back into the state of its perpetual nature based on an eternal existence, encompassing all time, all space, all matter, all knowledge, all truth, contained within the awareness of the individual, of this being that you truly are. When you find yourself in perceptions of limitation, you will grow somewhat uncomfortable. If your perceptions are less limited, then relatively speaking, you will be less uncomfortable. The closer you get to embracing the function and nature of what you truly are, the greater your joy and your freedom will become. The greater your joy and freedom will become. If you understood that you were all things, all knowledge, all wisdom, your function and action, even as an individual, will change by the reframing of your perception to something that is more expansive than the limitations that your personality confines you to, the limitations that others would offer you as the limitations of theirs. As others can simply, in this physical dimension, give you one perception or another, even as I am doing right now through this form. And the surrendering of those limitations can occur when you move into silence, into space. As these vocal sounds coming from this body move through space and are structured very differently in space. But the experience of space without definition is significantly different in how you will experience what you are being, because then you are not defined by a specific locus of time, space, or conception. To allow yourself to drop away from the information, the beliefs, and the ideologies, the conceptions that localize your perception to a specific thing, you can begin to know who you truly are. You can then begin to delight in all aspects of yourself when you understand the self, that you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are manifestations of localized conceptions of and about your experiences of time and space. To truly be still, to engage yourself in the mere experience. I'm laughing because when he said the word mere experience, he said it's far more than that, but that's making it simple like that. He said it'll be easier for people to understand. I'm just giggling at the way he presented it to me. That's very understanding. This experience of space liberates you into itself, or you might say that you liberate yourself back into what you are. Now, there are other dimensions of information, knowledge, and experience that would say that this experience of yourself as infinite space, well, then what then is this space contained with? And your science is seeking to understand this strictly from the perception of the experience of the material universe by creating various machinations of technology and seeking to understand the expansion and the scope and degree and amount of space that measurable matter occupies. Science seeks to comprehend that space from the perspective of finite observation of matter. The understanding of space cannot be gleaned from the perspective of individualized self. That is, you cannot know the whole of a thing from a finite perspective. But from the perspective of that which you observe, you can know it. That is to say, if you were to allow your awareness to liberate itself from the confines of your individualized personality and move your awareness, for example, into the experience of being a bird, then you would know what being a bird is. And in truth, in your true essence, you know this already. But coming to this place in space, where you are divested of the body being the source of your identity, the mind being the source of your personality, that you drop all of this, that you surrender all of these conceptions of finite considerations of what you are, that you are a body, that you are thoughts, that you are memories, that you are a future based on many of those memories, to surrender all of that, to allow yourself to conceive that you are infinite space containing all within you, but you are not what is contained, you are that which is suspending all that is contained within yourself. The idea that you can close your eyes and expand your awareness to sense and feel as if all of the things in this room are contained within you, your perception will change. Even if it is but by a small degree, your perception of self will begin to shift and change the moment you begin to expand your awareness beyond the perception that you are contained within a room observing objects all around you, to the perception that you are awareness containing all the objects that are around you, that the chair, the table, the pen, the electronic device before you, these are all contained within your awareness. Then the function of your consciousness shifts beyond the finite, away from that localized perception of a personalized identity to a more expanded awareness of the self being more inclusive of time, space, and matter, because the self is not matter. The self is being. And to define the being would put you back into the position of being matter. But to experience that you are space, and you can do this if you close your eyes and allow your awareness to expand and feel all the things around you contained within you, that you are the space that contains these things. In this position where you have now allowed your awareness to expand outside the scope of what you would normally consider as a form of perception, you move towards the opportunity to begin to experience yourself more as you truly are and less as simply the function of physiology, psychology, and sensation. You begin to experience the self as something more than the definitions that you have imposed upon your perception of self. That is, the beliefs, the ideas that you have. You can move your awareness beyond the form to begin to experience yourself as something different than what the world has made you accept and believe that you are supposed to be. Your experience of the world is probably a more accurate term. Your experience and interpretation of the world has caused you to formulate a belief that presents to yourself that you are that body or that you are those thoughts, or that you are those memories, or that you are those emotions, and that there are things all around you, and you're limited to that perception of the self from that perspective. So when you can expand your awareness beyond the framework of your knowledge, your ideas, your beliefs, your emotions, the things around you, when you move your awareness beyond them, to realize that the capacity to expand your awareness is not limited. The capacity to expand your awareness beyond the body, beyond even this world, to allow your awareness to partake in the experience of being the space that holds within itself all matter, all time, all space. Future, past, and present, all contained within you, here and now. And in that conception of self, in that experience of being, you'll come to understand what was meant by this statement: be still and know I am God. My reason for coming and sharing this particular information is it is time for many of you to begin the process of awakening yourself from the needless suffering propagated by the illusion that you are simply a physical body or a collage of memories and emotions, that you are transcendent to those. You are transcendent to those. But in order to come to that perception of transcendence, and when you do, let me say that when you come to that transcendence of perception, it feels unlike anything that you currently know based on the illusionary nature of your mind and body. They are certainly experienced. You can feel how they interact with each other. You can hear sound, smell smells, feel textures. You can experience this physical dimension as it is a manifestation that is contained within you. You are not contained by the body. The body is contained by you. And without it, your body would not exist. But in the chamber of eternal space, of silence, you'll begin to know and experience what you are, not as a set and circumstance of belief and ideas which often limit you to the illusionary conditions in which you find yourself suffering and struggling, weighing and measuring, running and existing through time and space, many of you sometimes without meaning or understanding why you are even doing it. And all of you yearn to return back to that space, and many of you are believing you can take shortcuts to do that. But it must be consciously realized in order for you to experience the truth of it. Just as you can experience a drink of water as warm or cold, you need to experience the expansiveness of your being in contrast to your limited self. That is the finite personalized identity that you exist in. And then to experience yourself as that eternal space that contains within itself all that is observable and experienceable by your senses and by your awareness. For your awareness does not negate the experience of individuality. In fact, it sustains it and delights in it. That which you truly are delights in the experience of individuality because it is experiencing the self not only as the individual, but as that which is manufacturing the experience of individuality, the creator experiencing its creation. And you may be in the experience of being the creation and may have forgotten that you are the creator, But in the remembering that you are both the creation and the creator, a very different function of being can come into play while you exist in time, space, and matter. And all of what you call the great masters of time and space discovered this from their own experience of being that which they truly are. You may remain as the individual for as long as you choose, for you are immortal and eternal by nature. And you may choose to surrender the illusionary nature of the individual. Either position has its delight, but only one position has absolute freedom and peace. And that is the recognition of the self. That is that which sustains, maintains, creates, and shapes all time, space, and matter. And as I had said previously, because science is seeking to measure the immeasurable with tools that measure in a finite sense, they will simply expand to further broader versions of the separateness of time, space, and matter, but the experience of the infinite will elude them. They will simply find ways of manipulating and restructuring the experience of time, space, and matter to have a new definition of itself, but it will still be, by the very nature of definition, be limited to that which is defined, and that which is limited to those defining it. And when you come to the understanding that you are not simply an individual body, you are a spiritual consciousness that orchestrates matter, even on this very basic level of the flesh. You are orchestrating the matter of flesh with your moves, with your thoughts, with your emotions. You orchestrate, create conditions that you experience because of what you are orchestrating. Many of you are simply playing the instrument, not knowing you are even in the orchestra, or that there is someone orchestrating you, or that you may be the orchestrator or the orchestrated. You may be all of these things, and certainly from the perspective of physical matter, you get to experience that you are orchestrating matter. You can orchestrate thought. You orchestrate creation, even on the basic level of a physical individual. The individual is indeed orchestrating to a small degree creation. But from the perspective of what you truly are, that small degree is quite grand indeed if you understood the scope and capabilities that you possess as this expanded self. Then conditions such as healing and limitation have a very different meaning in your life, as they will not be defined by the limits of your belief, but by the unlimited nature of your perceptual awareness. From this place of the chamber of silence, of infinite space, because when you close your eyes and you sense and feel the space around you, and you sense that the space is not only around you, it's around all things in the space around you, the space that you allow your awareness to feel that you are this space that contains the table and the chair within you. The mere awareness of that will spontaneously begin to expand your definition of yourself, because you are no longer relying simply on the perspective of individual perception. You're perceiving this thing or this thing. You're now expanding your awareness to include that I am that which holds these things within me. Your definition of self will begin to shift and change. Even if you do not know what that change may be in the initial stages, the mere act of considering what I'm saying, that you are not simply a physical organism, but something that contains a physical organism within you. And in turn, you contain the objects of space and time within you as well. While this is the more in-depth way of considering it, the experience of it will loan itself to its own understanding for you, both as the individual, but also as that which is the creator of the experience of your individuality, yourself as the creator. Because you truly are the creator of your experiences. And that there are mechanisms that are contained within you in the form of thought. You contain thought within you. And that thought that you contain within you articulates functions in creation, which you call matter and time and space. And every thought and every memory and every emotion is contained within you. You are not contained within them. They are contained within you. And this consideration of perception will begin to loan itself to an experience of redefinition of yourself as not simply a physical organism, but as a creative intelligence that orchestrates the function of matter through an act of your interaction with it. If then all emotion, all memory, all thought is contained within you, then who are you that contains these within you, that you can observe your thoughts, observe your emotions, observe your memories, observe possible future considerations? Who are you? Who are you that does this, that can do this, that realizes I have these thoughts, I have these memories, I have these emotions, I have this body, they are within me. I can make things happen with them. Who are you then? From that perspective, you can begin to liberate yourself from subjectivity to your individuality. That is, you are then no longer restricted to the structure of thoughts and beliefs and ideas that you might believe that is who you are. The moment you realize, I contain thoughts, I contain memories, I contain ideas, I contain a body, I contain emotions within me, but I am not them, but I contain them within me, and I can orchestrate them differently than I believe I can. If I believe I am the thoughts, the memories, the emotions of the body, I, as that what contains these things, have a different level of autonomy and authority over them than I do when I believe that I am them. If you hear these words and are exploring these possibilities, then you will begin to feel the tingle of transformation that begins to happen when you consider that you are not your thoughts, but you contain those thoughts. They were placed inside you by the senses of this world. Thoughts were placed within you. The body is contained within you. The emotions are contained within you. You are not them, but you have them within you, but they are not you. And what benefit would it be then for you to consider, if I am not my thoughts and I'm not my emotions, I'm not my memories, then who am I that contains these within myself? Who am I that observes the function of thought? Who are you that observes memory? Who are you that observes emotion? To turn your attention to this aspect of the self that is the observation of experience will begin to shift you from subjectivity to thought, to your emotion, to your memory. Because now you are no longer lost in thought, lost in memory, lost in body. You are now awareness containing within yourself these things. And there is no thinking mind in that place of awareness. There is observation, there's perception. That perception does not restrict you and limit you to the information, the emotions, the beliefs, the biology itself, because the shift in perception necessitates that you have a different level of authority over your physical body, over your emotions, over your thoughts, and over your creative process. But until such a time that you begin to consider what is being said here sufficiently enough, you will be bound to believing that you are your anger, you are your sadness, you are your debilitating thoughts, you are simply the body. You'll be bound by the structures of those things. But the moment you consider that you do indeed contain thought within you, you are not the thought, but you contain them. You contain memory. You are a container for matter, time, and space. And if you consider them, what am I that has these within me? The mere gesture to begin to consider that self that is not the thoughts that you contain within you. Who am I that is aware of these thoughts? Who am I that are aware of those emotions? Who am I that is aware of those sounds? This point of observation shifts from subjectivity to the individual nature to now the observation of that which is beyond. Your shift in perception goes from finite towards the infinite, from the container to that which holds the container within itself. The statement, he's got the whole world in his hands, is the understanding that the shift in perception was so profound that the individual making that statement recognized that all that exists is contained within itself. Just as your thoughts and your memories, your emotions are contained within your awareness, so too all creation is contained within a quality of awareness to which many of your masters and ascended ones repeatedly and consistently strive to exist in. Often, many of them leave and depart to that realm because the conditions of experience far exceed anything that you can truly know while in a physically individualized form. But the journey to this position in consciousness to be that, as your one master said, I and the Father are one. He said those words. He recognized he was not in the world and of the world. He contained it within himself. His shift in perception was so perfect that he understood that he was no longer bound by individuality. And so the necessity to exist in a physical form at that point of what you call time and space became unnecessary. But it was important to demonstrate to himself that he did indeed have absolute autonomy over matter, time, and space in that existence of circumstance. That is, when the body was placed into a position that it was no longer what you call alive, that he could demonstrate to himself that the life of the body was determined by him and not the life of himself determined by the body. And so he resurrected the form. You know of who we speak. He resurrected the form as his final demonstration of absolute autonomy. The Son becomes the Father. And you are all the children, the son, the daughter of this great light, this great life. And each and every one of you may aspire to that state of transcendent love that recognizes there is no need for suffering of any kind, that you are free by definition to experience your existence as the wondrous and incredible and limitless reality that it truly is. This place of the chamber of silence, of being able to expand your awareness beyond the definitions of your thoughts, to allow yourself to experience yourself, to allow yourself to experience yourself outside the confines of the container of your individuality. For your personality is contained within you, not you within it. And it is very difficult to be comfortable if you believe that you are limited in any way, shape, or form. If you believe that certain thoughts or ideas are the only way to define yourself, then you are going to suffer, because that is not the absolute truth of it. The absolute truth of what you are can be experienced if you can shift your perception beyond the structure of the finite. And it begins with that question: A simple question. Who are you that observes your thoughts? Who are you that observes the body? Who are you that is aware there is emotion? Who are you that is aware of all these things around you? What if you understood that you are that which contains all of these things within you? These are considerations that are not often disseminated to people in general, as the vast majority of humanity at this time believes in the illusion of their individuality as being the exclusive reference point of the self. And so dissatisfaction and suffering are natural consequences of not understanding the nature of what you truly are and being able to articulate that while you are in a physical form. There are very few individuals that can, but there are many in one sense, that can demonstrate fantastic feats of the unbelievable because they understand that they are the fantastic, they are the divine, that no harm can come upon them, that they might walk upon the fire and not be burned, that they can be more than individuality can consider. So we all come to this place where you will begin to question, especially during this time of ascension, especially during this time of conception, that we are at a place, you are at a place right now, where you can choose to be in the suffering of the finite nature, begin to expand your consciousness beyond what you know, that you are not just your thoughts, you're not just your memories, you're not just your emotions. And like John is saying, when he spoke to me, when I was standing on that bridge, I had no other consideration other than the pain and the pain that I was in and the terror I was feeling at the same time, that I was going to end my life. And that he spoke to me and I heard him, and it was something outside of what I knew. I'd never heard a voice speak to me outside of, my mother or my father, the teachers, the counselors, the psychiatrists and psychologists that were dealing with me then. And so hearing that voice on that bridge that day took me outside of myself. By just hearing that voice, I looked away, and I physically did that. I was looking around for who was speaking to me, and there was nobody there telling me to call a phone number, get some help. And that little shift in experience changed my perception enough that I went down a different path. And every one of us has guides and angels, beings that are at slightly more expanded perceptions of the self. Many of the yogis and mystics, ascended masters, you call them, archangels, and even the mystics that are on this planet right now, the Greg Bradens, the Joe Dispenzas, these individuals have expanded their awareness sufficiently beyond their individuality that they can bring in more and more knowledge from the space of infinite possibilities and knowledge. And that's what begins to happen when you can shift your awareness from the known to the unknown. And that's what John did for me that day. He shifted my awareness from what I knew, which was my pain and my suffering, my beliefs that I had no value, to this awareness that there was something beyond what I was considering. And my life from that moment has been a consistent journey towards assisting others in realizing that your suffering and your pain don't define you. They're not who you are. It took many years before I remembered John. I went into a whole different way of being. I went through many years of additional suffering, but after that moment on the bridge, when I heard his voice for the first time, I could never go back to where I was before, because I was led to information and knowledge and people that took me outside of the definition my mind was limiting me to. Now, right now, humanity is limited to the definition of the information that we've accumulated as a species. Yes, I will. He's just saying to me that it's important that we complete this conception of of what he's talking about. That you are limited by the structure of belief that you have collectively accumulated and generated. And you are now moving into a time where perception must go beyond what is known for what you would desire beyond what you're experiencing to occur. That is, you need to consider possibilities of what love is, of what joy is, of what peace is, beyond the existing definitions that you have formulated for them. If you believe that love is a stimulation of your physical senses, then you will be bound by the stimulation of the physical senses and not fully understand the definition of love beyond that experiential element. So your definitions of what is your existence limit you to the definitions of that conception of existence. And I would say to you again to consider that all of this, even your humanity, is contained within each and every one of you. The whole of this world is contained within you. To begin to consider that possibility. That you are not simply the collection of thoughts and memories that you have individually, but that you are something more expanded than that, that has available to you information and knowledge and functions of abilities and creation beyond the scope of the limits of your belief. You are the limitless, and being able to go into the place and space to become aware of your consciousness, not being limited to the experience of the individual. And merely by the idea of closing your eyes, you contain your body within you. It is reacting to how you are interacting with it all of the time. You contain your body within you. Your body does not contain you. And just by that consideration, you can begin to shift your definition outside the structure of the body defining yourself, or the mind and the information in your mind being that which defines you. There are certain elements of creation in the dimension of physicality that are what they are. They are changing a dynamic too. But my only concern was to reach you that are able to hear these words, to consider that the world does not confine you to itself, but that the world is an aspect of your being contained within you, that you may liberate yourself from perceptions that limit you to conditions that may not be favorable to your existence, but that you do contain all of this within you. The good, the not so good, the finite, and the eternal are all contained within you. To move into the realm of the silence, to be the space, to become familiar that you are the observer, observing what is observed, you will begin to shift your perception beyond the known and the knowable to the unknown. And let me say, as I finalize this, that you indeed, the unknowable can become unknown when you begin to shift your perception of self beyond what you know. But you cannot deny that all of your thoughts, all of your memories, all of your emotions are contained within you. They do not contain you, you contain them. And that mere consideration of perception can begin to place you into a position where you surrender your subjectivity to thoughts, to memories, to emotions, and move yourself into a position where you can become the architect of a new mind, a new body, a new world, a new consciousness. For if you understood that the perfecting of your body from the perspective of love will give you a whole new experience of being than the one that the definition of your individuality restricts you to. You are not simply a collage of thoughts and a clump of physical cells. You are a divine spiritual consciousness, learning the function of manifestation. It's funny, because like those first words he spoke to me and how he communicates to me and through me now is very different. Back then I was a very desperate young man, just becoming out of childhood when he spoke to me. So that it just sometimes it needs something outside of what you know to get you free from what you know. But the whole concept, silence is the chamber where the eternal may be found. You know, when they began talking to us about meditations in space, in some of our master classes, we do meditations where you experience yourself not as the body, not as the mind. And it's a very fascinating thing to watch what happens to people when their experience of themselves goes beyond the definition that they become accustomed to. When you suddenly realize, I'm not these thoughts, and you can take your thoughts and put them aside. And you can literally put your body aside and feel yourself as a being and not as a definition of self. And it's an amazing thing when you have that experience. Sometimes it'll feel like you have no body. I cannot tell you how many times we've seen students going, it felt like my body wasn't there, and I had to open my eyes and look. And they open their eyes, and of course the body's there, because the minute you open up to an idea, it has to formulate for you. If they keep their eyes closed, then they lose awareness of the body, but they gain awareness of the self, who they really are. Same thing with your thoughts. When you can put your thoughts aside and get your mind still and quiet, which again, you can learn to do in a very short period of time, to make your mind quiet, you move into a different self than the one that you know, with all the thoughts and memories and emotions and anticipations that go on in your mind. The statement they use often in meditation, when you get to a certain point, you have to release your mind and body to stillness. You got to release your mind and body so they become still, quiet, and peaceful. And they use that statement a lot. Let your mind become quiet, calm, and peaceful. Let your body relax. And when those two are completely still, you perceive and experience yourself as a different self than you can experience yourself when you're just being as the body or being as the mind in your day-to-day life. But the beautiful thing, when you shift your experience of yourself from mind-body, then you can bring into your creative experience a lot more information, knowledge, and wisdom that's not available to a set of beliefs that restrict you from knowing more than the beliefs themselves will allow you to. And you have to have experience of that. And that's something that we do quite regularly. They do that all the time in the meditations. Hi, everybody. Good morning. So this is how my morning has been. Got a super chat here on YouTube. I'll try to get to them. I'll catch up here. Hi, guys. Super chat on YouTube asking, does my husband's mom have a message for him? Well, she's saying, tell him to please don't be so silly anymore. She says to tell him to not to be so silly anymore. Yeah, if he releases his sadness, everything will be okay. She's telling me to tell him to release your sadness and everything will be okay. You don't have to carry that around anymore. That was a long time ago. Let it go. I'm with you. I'm with you. And she is with him. She says he denies it a lot because of his deeply held belief about the body being the only locus of reality, and which a lot of people believe. The body, the physical world, is the only known world. And from the perspective of your body, it is the only known world. If you only believe that this is physical, then this is the only thing you'll experience. And when your body ceases to exist, you will lose awareness of yourself because you believe you are just a body. But yes, she's holding up this golden brooch that it's a brooch that goes on a shirt, and it opens up, and there's a man. This is a black and white photograph that's contained inside this brooch. It opens up. So it's like a brooch, but it's like a locket. It opens up, and there's a man and a woman. They're together in this image, and she wants you to know that they are together. They're together, and they're really happy. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Benjamin Salinas is asking a very interesting question. What is consciousness? He's asking, what is consciousness? To know the answer to that question, you need to experience yourself as something which is not defined by thoughts, memories, emotions, or the position of observational awareness, which is still a finite perspective, although it can be more defined than that. But consciousness is the all-inclusive consciousness of space and time, aware of itself as a unified oneness without limit. That's the only language that is available for that term. It's limitlessness. Aware that it is limitlessness, but aware that it does not need to be aware to know that it is limitlessness. He's saying that it's very difficult for your mind to conceive of what you truly are when you seek to define it. Even in the asking of your question, you restrict the understanding by definition of the understanding. The experience of being, if you could surrender your thoughts, surrender your memories, surrender your emotions, surrender analysis, surrender all that you know, surrender all that you know, seek not to know what you are surrendering to simply let go, to simply let go of all you know, and then you will experience something different of the self than what you know. And that will be but another step along the journey. But your masters, they have all understood what consciousness is. They became and exist as it, undiminished by all of eternity, inclusive of everything. Yes, I know. So it's a great question. It's just very difficult to understand it in language. To have them explain it to us in language is very difficult. But consciousness is the limitless, ungoverned experience of being without border, boundary, time, or space, but nor in denial of that as well. It's all inclusive. It's the only way I can put it. It's an all-inclusive, comprehensive. It is the bird and the tree. It is the leaf. It is the fly. It is infinite space. It is eternity. It is the moment. It is all that is. That is, in language, the closest definition you can be given of what consciousness is. And to experience what you are as consciousness is different than any definition we could ever give you. Wow, that's really cool. Thank you, Benjamin. Appreciate that. Got a question here from Diane. Hi, Diane. Is there any advice on my path at this time? Advice. She wants advice. Well, I would say first and foremost, you need to start learning what you don't know. Start to explore what you do not know. Because the pathway of trying to figure it out is by definition going to limit you to what you are trying to figure out. To surrender what you know and experience what you do not will loan itself to the freedom and the understanding that you need to have this more expanded experience of yourself. Again, Diane, I would remind you that you got 5 more days left to register for our Masterclass 101, which is called Awakening. And it's the first in the series of 4 programs where you begin to get introduced to what you are, not just as a body, not just as a mind. You get to connect to your guides, your angels. You begin to understand more about what you don't know. And I highly encourage you, if you really want to know more about your life than your life is letting you know, then you want to go down a path of information and experience that will let you know what you do not know, because the only way you're going to change your life from what you're experiencing as is by experiencing and knowing something more than you do. You have to know what you do not know to change what you know. Again, go to my website, William Michael Forbes. It's called Masterclass 101, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. Masterclass 101, Awakening, where you can connect literally to your own guides, your own angels, your ascended master. Talk to the divine. It's in you right now. And get the information and knowledge directly from within you. But you need to know how to go within you, beyond your thoughts, beyond memories, beyond emotions, to gain access to the information that is an innate part of what you are functionally as a consciousness. I encourage everybody to do that. Drusilla is asking, who is this energy on my right side? I'm getting strongly that it's Archangel Michael, but I get this dog beside you. There's a dog beside you on the other side. So there's Archangel Michael on the one side and this dog on the other side of you. It looks like this big German Shepherd. Like, it's a big dog. It's not a small dog. And it's more black than any of the other colors. There's more black to it than any other colors. But he's on your other side right now. Hello, Lauren. Hey, Max, how you doing? Max is asking, anything I need to know before leaving Rishikesh? Did I choose the right path up the mountain? They're telling me, Max, they're telling me to tell you, because you know where you are going, how can you choose the wrong path? If you know where you are going, you are concerned that your mind does not understand. And that is important, because the mind cannot understand what it does not know. Only you can know what you do not know. But the function of the path is based on what you do not know, so the mind cannot conceive this. So the direct answer is yes. Remember the statement, ask for the holy man. Ask for the holy man. You will be brought to him as he knows you have called him. Wow. Thank you, Max. Appreciate that. Hi, guys. Hi. SJK is saying, hey, folks, please write the word question before your question so that I notice it more easily. Thank you so much, SJK. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so those of you that got lots of questions about asking about your guides and your angels, everyone, without exception, has guides and angels. Where do you think inspiration comes from? New ideas. They're coming from somewhere. You look at some of the brilliant minds on the planet. They come up with these new and innovating ideas. Where did they get them from? Right? Where they make a new discovery. It's not a new discovery. It's just they've accessed information outside of what they know. And it usually gets put into their minds or brought to their awareness because they're calling it forth. I've got this problem and I want to figure it out. Your guides and angels, the ascended masters that may work with you, will give you information on request. They'll give you information on request. And it's important, I want to emphasize here, in learning to connect your guides and angels, it's really important that you do two things at least. The first thing is you need to raise the vibration of your body up. You need to make your body healthier. That's first and foremost. Make your body healthier, raise its vibration up. Secondarily, change your emotional frequency from the spectrum of fear towards the spectrum of love. Again, it's raising the vibration of your emotional energy from fear to love. Guides and angels are not all sunshine and lollipops. There are guides that operate on low vibrational planes of energy. And there are guides and angels that operate on higher planes of energy, Oh, for Pete's sake, would you stop that? It's important that you do those two things. Raise the vibration of your body. In our masterclass series, we do that by introducing people to what we call high vibrational eating. And then there's raising your energy, your emotional energy from fear to love, so that you raise the vibration from fear to love. Then you'll connect to your guides and angels that are on the higher vibrational energies rather than on the lower vibrational energies. Lots of demonic, dark possession going on today because people are in low vibrational states. Their bodies are unhealthy. They're in depression, anxiety, frustration, fear that keep you in a lower vibration. And lower vibration the old statement the Hermetics have, birds of a feather flock together. So low vibration attracts low vibration, high vibration attracts high vibration. And through simple things like shifting and changing the way you treat your body, the way you allow your emotions to operate, you can raise your vibration up in a really short time. In the span of about a week, we've watched people who've come into the course that are in a very low vibrational state shift their energy way, way up. In our masterclass series, we have other instructors that will work with you in the practice of understanding how to sense your guides and angels, how to connect to them in certain practices that allow you to perceive their presence around you in the way that you're able to. As well, your loved ones and the people that you really cherish and love in life, when they cease to live in a physical body, it doesn't mean they're gone from existence. They're just gone from the physical dimension. And there's ways you can learn to shift your perception so that you can perceive even them from another level of perception. Just the same way right now you're sitting here and listening to the voice that's speaking through this body. You can hear that voice, but you could also pause and shift your attention to something else. You could hear something else, shift your perception to say, you got a dripping faucet in your kitchen, or there's somebody running around outside, or you hear a dog barking or a cat meowing. And you notice those things. You can shift your perception to perceive something other than what you're perceiving. And while that's a very simple explanation of how you do that on the physical dimension, it works the same way on the dimension of consciousness, of perceiving spirit. You can shift your perception from the physical realm to the non-physical realm. You can shift your perception from the physical realm to the non-physical realm. And again, this is a matter of learning how to do that. And you can learn to do that in a very safe and nurturing and loving community environment where you get the opportunity to explore possibilities of perception outside of what you're familiar to. Again, go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and sign up for the masterclass. Question from Lisa. Why do people claim to be ex-psychic and say now Jesus saved them from demons that are psychic abilities? Many have started claiming that they've given up abilities because of God. Well, of course, a lot of people would give up those abilities. If you reach that level of consciousness, you don't need to talk to your guides and angels if you can talk directly to God or Master Jesus. Right? Same with Buddha. If you connect to the Buddha within yourself, you don't need to necessarily have that type of guidance. So there's no error in there. There's nothing evil about mediumship or psychic abilities. These are natural abilities that everyone possesses. The consideration here is whether or not you're using those abilities or connecting to lower vibrational planes of that information. Master Jesus was a spiritual medium. And he was a spiritual medium for most of his life. He talked to Gabriel, he talked to Elijah, he talked to God. So did Moses. Moses was a medium. He talked to God all the time. Master Buddha spoke to other masters. And you talk to any mystic on this planet that has studied under other teachers or mentors, they have guides. They talk to their mentors all the time. You can talk to Jesus. You can sit and have a communication with him. I've had Master Jesus speak through me many times. And he always speaks of love. All of the beings that you want to connect to, you want them to be beings of high vibrational. There are high vibrational beings. There are low vibrational beings. Jesus always spoke and communicated to high vibrational beings. In this case, the divine, God. He spoke to Elijah. He spoke to Gabriel. He spoke to many others in non-physical dimensions of consciousness on his path of learning. So they're not wrong when they say that they escaped from evil by connecting to God or Christ. Because there are a lot of low vibrational demons on this planet right now that are influencing political decisions and making people greedy and forcing people to get identified with the body as the source of who they are. There's a lot of low vibrational beings on this planet interfering with humanity. And the only way to get relieved of those influences is to shift your perception out of a lower vibrational state to a higher vibrational state, from fear to love, right? That's really the answer to that question, Lisa. So I understand that. Yeah, that's going on a lot. Question from Bogiamilla. Question: does my dog Chico have any messages for me? I I don't know why, but he's showing me a tennis ball that he's chewing on. He's showing me a tennis ball that he's chewing on. He says if you hold that, you can connect to his energy more. When you hold on to the toys that he played with, you can connect to his energy. Like hold them and feel his energy around you. It'll make it easier. It'll give you your physical body an anchor to remember the sensation of his energy. Because a lot of people get attached to the sensation of touch and smell and sight and sound that you disconnect when the person or the animal leaves the physical dimension. You're only remembering or caught up in the memory of sensation. So you're disconnected from the energy of the being, right? The energy of your dog is quite beautiful. He loves you very dearly. Loves you very dearly, Bogiamilla. Yes. But you can connect to his energy more if you hold the toy in the hand and then feel his energy around you, right? Use a physical stimulation to activate the other perceptual elements. Here we go, guys. Hi. Very grateful too. Thank you so much. Remember, thank you so much for the likes and the subscriptions, guys. We're over, is that 26,000 likes on TikTok? That's hilarious. Remember, every time you give these videos a thumbs up or a subscribe or share or like, you put this information into the hands of people that need it. And no matter who you share it with, it's going to end up in the hands of those that need to hear, to know, to experience this information. But again, you got 5 days left for those of you that are interested to sign up for our 101 masterclass on awakening. Guides and angels, low vibrational beings, these things are real. And most people don't know how to make a discernment between good and evil in this world because there's been such confusion. And some of these demonic energies have influenced politicians to create rules and laws and create and perpetuate fear. So when you're living in fear, your energy is conducive to attracting lower vibrational energies. In a state of love and grace, you will tend to connect to higher vibrational beings, Master Jesus being one, Buddha being another, and many, many others. There's been so many wonderful and loving beings that have passed through this earth walk, from many different cultures over many millions of years upon this planet. Yes, I said millions because humanity and humanoid forms have been on this planet exceedingly far beyond what science measures today. Many of these ancient cultures are still buried deep beneath the earth when the great changes happened. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Like, subscribe, share, follow, get this information to others. They need it. Someone says, I desire the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Come to our masterclass. Master Jesus says over and over again, everybody has eyes, but they don't often see. Everybody has ears, but they don't often hear. You need to learn to close the gates of the temple. Close your eyes, close your ears, draw away from the world, go into the sacred chambers of the temple. You'll learn this through the function of meditation. Jesus meditated all the time to go within, to get away from the world, to commune with the divine within. And you need to do that. So yeah, you need to close the world off, go within inside, and you'll learn to do that. You can learn to meditate, to get away from your thinking mind, get away from the distractions of the world, to connect to the divine within you. Everybody has them. Everybody has inner sight and inner spirit. Thank you so much for the badges, Lisa. I really appreciate that. Question here. Not so low, hon. Hi, did my son know that I was trying to get to him? Yes, he did. He does know that. He does know that. You felt him. He says that you felt him when you were trying to get to him. You felt him. That's why you thought you weren't there. You were there for him. Your soul made it on time. He felt the presence of your soul. And you felt the presence of his at the same time. Yes. Thank you. He certainly did. Oh, you're very welcome, Bogiamilla. Hi, anything for me, please? Yeah, you need to relinquish fear. Listen, there's so much pushing people to be living in fear. There's so much around you trying to get you to be afraid. Turn away from anything that's trying to make you afraid. News. Most television and entertainment is designed to keep you in fear. Most television and so-called entertainment is designed to keep you bound in fear, in violence, in aggression, in doubt. Most of what you call entertainment is not entertaining, it's debilitating. Real entertainment is sitting with your families and playing music and singing songs, or growing food and doing things that are really meaningful and productive for your soul and your spirit. Not in gossiping about your neighbors, or do I have the best purse possible, or those are fun and nice to do once in a while, but gossip perpetuates fear. And there's so many shows on television that want you to gossip and be secretive and get them and get even with them. Get away from fear, please. Let your fear go. Question from Max. How do you remain conscious while falling asleep? And how do you have playtime with different parts of the body? Thanks. Well, Max, it's funny that you're asking that question. I get goosebumps. I got Yogananda coming in right now for you. And he says you must have fun with it. Every part of your body needs you to interact with it playfully. And the simplest form for you, for the body, from its perspective, is to let it know, to enliven it with movement. It's very strange because I was showing this about a week and a half ago, where you shake, like every part, every nerve, every organ, every gland in your body needs attention from you. And oftentimes, most people are so externalized, you don't pay attention to moving your heart. So he had me doing all these weird contortions with my body and my stomach muscles. And he said, you've got to bring your life and give life to your liver, your kidneys. You have to get into connection with them. If you ignore something, he says, it dies. If you ignore something, it dies. So your heart, your lungs, when you breathe, you're giving your lungs attention. When you pay attention to your heartbeat, you're giving your energy. When you move the body inside and you move your awareness into the liver and the kidneys, when you bring your awareness to these parts of your body, you begin to give them life. Dancing is a way of giving life to your whole body. Dancing, jumping around, these give life to your body. And if you are doing this with your body, then you will experience its joy. Do not worry if others think that you are silly. It is not about others. It's about you restoring your joy and your life to your body. So yeah, it seems like he'd have me shake my hands for all the bones, all the muscles, all the nerves in the hands, to know that I'm with them, I'm present, I love them, I delight in them. And the brain, and shake the brain around and let the brain know that you're delighted, so it knows that you love it. So you're not, because most people are so externalized, they don't pay attention to the inner body. And so the inner body starts to get sick and diseased because it's ignored. Or it will try to talk to you in the way that it can. That's a great question, Max. Thank you for asking that. But dancing around, jumping around. So he had me doing all kinds of weird things for like every day this week. I'm doing all these weird movements with my body when he says, do this and move the spine this way and move the shoulders this way, and feel how all the joints and ligaments, and feel how they all delight in your presence with them. Because you are a spark of the divine. And when you bring your attention to anything within your body, you bring your divinity to it. And you may do so even in the state of absolute repose. You may bring the spark of your divinity to that way. But from the perspective of what you are asking me the question, then the actual visceral and physical movement of the body would be most beneficial for you to restore the joy and the playfulness that your body is missing. Wow. Thanks, Max. Appreciate that. Hi, guys. Someone is saying, how wonderful it must be to be quiet and still. That's Lisa. Hi, Lisa. It is a wonderful thing to be quiet and still, to know that your mind and body are really instruments, that they're not what define you. And getting your body quiet and still, one of the things that they do in all the master classes is there's like 6 hours of study and meditation every week in the master class. And between that, there are other mediums teaching you how to sense energy and releasing old emotions. There's different practices of how to connect with your guides and angels that are in that. But meditation, they said, was the most crucial way for teaching the individual to self-realize, to get yourself back to the position where you know that you can direct your mind and body into stillness and quiet. And it is a very delicious and a beautiful thing. And anyone can learn to do it. Anyone. Most people that are in deep trauma and fear have just not been taught how to heal their trauma and fear. They've been taught to believe they are their trauma and they are their fear, they are their past. One of the things they emphasize in the master classes is learning to be in the present moment. Because in the present moment, there is no past, there is no future. And once you train your mind and body, because you have to teach your mind and you have to teach your body how to be in the moment. They have to be taught that, because your mind and body have been taught to live in the past or live in the future by this world. And you must learn how to teach your mind and body to be in the present moment. And once you start learning to do that, once you start learning to experience how your mind experiences being taught to live in the present moment, wonderful things begin to happen. You start to hear things that you do not normally hear. You start to see things that you do not normally see. You begin to connect to your guides, your angels, the ascended masters. You can receive inspiration that you cannot receive from this world. Yes, the silence is a beautiful place, Lisa. It truly is, and anybody can get there. I need help. Please, do you have any message for me? That's coming from God is love. That is very true. God is love. And the words is love is different than the experience that you need to know love. For the question you have asked is one that says, how may I know love? Your question is a request to know love. And if you can hear my words right now and feel the intention of my words to you, close your eyes and feel the intention of these words, that you know love. Close your mind to stillness. Bring your body to relax. Feel the vibration of my intention that you know the truth of the statement that God is love and that you are of God and therefore you are love. This is the truth. You are love. You may have thoughts and memories that are not of love, but you are not your thoughts. You are not your memories. You are love. That is the truth. You are love. Wow. Thank you so much. My uncle died not long ago, and I'm grieving so bad. Anything you can tell me? Thank you, Brooke. Yes, right now, I need you to sit down if you're not already sitting. Take a slow, deep breath, okay? Take a slow, deep breath and relax, because your uncle's been trying to get through to you, and you're having trouble feeling him because you're caught up in the illusion that he's gone. He's not in a physical body anymore. That's absolutely true. He does not exist as a physical body, but he still exists as the being that you know as the uncle. His energy still exists. So breathe and relax the body, okay? And take a deep breath, relax it again a little bit more. Let it relax. And then I want you to just think this thought in your mind. I want to feel my uncle. Just think that thought. I want to feel my uncle's energy. Just make that thought. I want to feel my uncle. Forget about the body. Just feel or sense his energy. He's been like squeezing you hard for like weeks, trying to get you to know you do not have to be afraid or sad. He's with you. He's like holding you really, really, really tight energetically. And so you feel his squeeze and you can feel his love, but what you're believing is that he's gone. And so that pain you're feeling, that grieving, is the illusion that he's gone from your life. He's literally squeezing you, holding you tight energetically. And you need to feel that around you right now. Like, feel the presence of his love. It's not, the grief is because you believe that he's gone. But if you just allow yourself to feel his energy around you. He's been around you for weeks and weeks and weeks. Feel it so that the pain will stop. All right? Because then you'll feel his presence with you. And the truth will set you free. It really will. When you start to experience that. Even Master Jesus said, just because I'm not in a physical body anymore, I still exist. He said that to everybody. He said, I ascended. He ascended to heaven, right? He ascended. He took his body and lifted it up to the heavens. And it's true, you do not cease to exist when you leave the physical dimension. You still exist in consciousness. Just that most people aren't aware they are. Most people forget they are. Max is asking, and remaining conscious while going to bed, falling asleep. First thing you need to do, Max, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. When you're in your regular meditation, when you can get the mind and body completely still and quiet, and you are still awake, you're still aware you are aware, but you're not bound by the body. You might even feel like you don't even have a body. The same process will be true when you go to sleep. When you put the body to rest at night, make the decision, I'm going to remain awake. And deliberately let the body and mind go to, but choose to stay awake. Because what happens with most people, as thought begins to diminish when you're putting your body asleep, we always say you're falling awake. When you're falling asleep, you're actually falling awake. But what happens to most people, they're so attached to the thinking mind as being who they are. They're so attached to the body being who you are, that when you put the body asleep and the mind stops thinking, the locus of your identity shifts from the body mind to no mind. And as a result, you become attached to the locus of your identity being a physical body or a series of set of information in your brain called your personality. And that you forget that you are the awareness observing that. So choose to stay. I'm going to stay awake and aware. Just watch as the thoughts drop off and just keep yourself aware. Another thing you can do, Max, is you can imagine looking down on your body as you're going to sleep. Say, I'm going to look down on my body. As you're going to sleep, make that your focus. I'm going to watch or look down on my body, right? That's what you want to do. And you want to keep doing that until finally a moment will happen where you're suddenly looking down on your body. And then your awareness is then liberated from the body. Your awareness is never trapped in the body. It's just under the illusion that that's all you are. But that's the easiest way that I know of that they taught me, is to keep your awareness aware. Because when the thoughts stop going on, there's a different awareness. Again, you can learn that in the master classes too. They teach you how to stay awake while the body and mind are put in a different state of consciousness. Very fascinating. Thank you, Max. I see that. Why settle for being a medium when you can become the best? Well, I'm being told that is a process that's happening. Again, it's not about me being special. I'm just really open and receptive to allow these guides, ascended masters, the angels to work through me. And the typical term, we could change the term to divine conduit. It doesn't matter. The language often gets in the way of the truth anyway. As far as being a medium, there's no shame in that. Jesus was a medium. Buddha was a medium. Sai Baba was a medium. Joan of Arc was a medium. This is a very noble manifestation. So I'm honored and privileged to be able to let their information flow through me, because that is the truth. It really is. But thank you. I'm not settling for anything. will gastric bypass be well for me? From a physiological standpoint, yes. I'm being told to tell you, you just have to understand how to change what's happening to your body. It's very important you understand that your body follows the function of your beliefs. And that if you believe that this function that you call a bypass is what your body will truly benefit from, it may be true if your belief is strong enough, and it may not if your belief is not. There have been many of you that have sought to use your systems of physical manipulation to try and establish a better existence of your physiology, when you simply need to adhere to the proper laws of the requirements of your body, that your body has certain functions that it needs you to guide it on, what you eat and what you drink and how you use and manipulate your body on a day-to-day basis is a far better pursuit to understand in order to elevate your body to its divine potential here. But many of you have been severely disappointed by these physical manipulations that you have sought to go to from your so-called systems of health upon this planet. Many of you have found yourself very disappointed, and you simply have just disappointed yourself because you do not understand the proper functioning of the body and your role and responsibility over it, over what it should eat, what it should drink, and how it should act and be and do to establish its most beautiful function. Wow. Thank you. I understand that. I'm just trying to see where we are here. Wonderful. Just scrolling down. A lot of questions. What does my great-grandma, Elsie, want to tell me? I'm not getting anything from her. I'm getting her presence is with you, but I'm not getting anything from her at this time. It's just this, and that doesn't happen very often because they usually always have some. Why are you so silent? She's saying that you need to trust yourself. That's what she tried to instill in you. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. That's what she wants you to do. And she says she knows that you know what this is in reference to. She says that she knows what this is in reference to. Trust yourself. Wow. Amanda's asking here, can you suggest anything for my mother's, for her nerve pain? Please understand, I'm not a medical intuitive and I'm not a medical professional, but I get information when people ask questions like this. So I make no claims to be any form of an expert in medicine. I simply allow information that I receive to come through me. And when I tune into your mother, that there's a connecting point between where she experiences the pain and the joints above that place where the pain is. They need to be enlivened. They need to be enlivened so the joints in that part of the body where that nerve is vibrating is because there's no flow of free energy there. So have her move the wrist around, the elbow around, the shoulders around. Have her move and shake all the joints in her body. She needs to move the joints to get the life flowing through them again. That's what I'm being told for you to tell her. She's got to get the joints enlivened in. Even small movements, even if she shakes her body up and down, but allows the joints, the ligaments, and tendons, allow everything to move freely. but she has to get life flowing back to that part of the body that the nerve is just telling her there's a disconnection in energy. There's a disconnection in energy, and it's because there's a pressure in there that's not allowing the life energy to flow. Yeah. Tell her to watch. So somebody's telling me to tell her to watch some Laurel and Hardy, old Laurel and Hardy movies, to make her laugh, because her laughter will also cause that kind of movement that her body's not getting. Thank you so much for that, Amanda. I really appreciate it. Hi, are you okay with like a tree card, please? Thanks. You with lots of love and hugs. Hi, are you okay with like a tree card, a free? Yeah, I'm okay with that for sure. I'm not quite sure what it means, but I'm okay with it. Brittany's asking, am I already healing the repeat of atopecia that I'm seeing? I'm not sure what that is, but when I tune into, I get, yes, but bring more of your love. Bring more of your love to that condition and not your fear and frustration. You must release your fear and frustration and bring your love and gladness to that. Bring your love and gladness to that. Bring your love and gladness to that. Someone says, I had a session. I learned that I was old, but I feel just like I'm lazy. How can I gain speed? Again, for those of you that are looking for healing, in our masterclass series, we have that happen quite frequently. People go through spontaneous healing because disease is a function of energy, whether it's bad eating or you don't use your body properly or your thoughts are negative. Every cause has an effect. Every effect has a cause. In our masterclass series, you will learn how to interact with your mind and body very differently than the way you've learned from the world. And when you change your thinking, as Jesus says, change what you believe, and you'll experience something very different. Beliefs are very important to understand how to change them. But yeah, you can certainly change your energy and change your life and your speed. We have a number of students have learned to walk again. People have learned to heal. People have learned to be happy. People have healed their eyes. You're putting it right in front of the other camera. I can't see. Can you lift it? Go back. Excuse me. Right there. Okay. Hey, I would like to move from my current work to a new workplace. Am I on the right path? Yes. But don't make this an either or journey. A lot of people do either or to themselves and they create extreme confusion and frustration. A lot of people create unnecessary frustration. Should I do this or should I do that? And that creates instantaneous stress. When you say, I don't know what to do, that creates stress. Don't do this or this. Do this and this and this. And the path will reveal itself to you. Do this and this and this. Don't limit yourself to one thing. Hi. Question. Am I on the right track in my spiritual journey? I've been in hermit mode for 6 months. Hi, Trish. Join the masterclass series and get into the journey of the soul, because you have a formative function. That's what you've been trying to realize. They're telling me you're trying to realize, what is the function of my soul here? And there's a lot of people crying, what is my purpose? Why am I here? And a lot of people aren't getting answers because they're looking in their mind and in what they know and in what the world knows. Everybody came here for a unique purpose. And if that's what you're going to seek, you will find it. Seek and you shall find. Sign up for the Masterclass 101 Awakening. It begins this Friday or this Saturday, but you have up until Saturday to register for the class. So please take the time to go and do that today. Go and register. Can I hear from my sister? Well, yes, you've been hearing from her. She keeps saying she sends these animals to you that come unexpectedly. She says, these animals, you've been surprised by these animals that have come unexpectedly to you. That's your sister trying to let you know she's keeping an eye on you, right? She wants you to know she's keeping an eye on you, right? Those unexpected animals reveal that to you. Someone's asking here, is there anything that could be said so I feel better about not being a vegetarian? Understand, in the animal kingdom, of which your body is an animal, okay? It doesn't matter where you are, how big or tall or short or small you are, your body is basically an animal. It's an animal that you are bound with while you're in this lifetime. In the physical realm of animal bodies, there are vegetarians, there are carnivores, there are omnivores, there are herbivores, there are fructarians. There are very general categories of what physical animals need for their physical bodies. Some human bodies are carnivores, some are herbivores, some are fructarians. There's different body types that need, like in the animal kingdom, it needs different types of nutrition to maximize its function. There are people who eat exclusively meat, who are vibrant and healthy and radiant, and there's people who eat meat that are debilitated and weak and low vibrational. Then there's people that are vegetarians that need that and their energy is flourishing. You need to discover what is right and natural for your body's energy. Because I used to believe, like you, that you have to be a specific way of eating. There are certainly more preferential ways of eating. Fast food certainly isn't one of them. Learning to prepare and cultivate and make your own food is certainly more preferable. But I keep being told the same thing. You need to know the function of your body and the function of your purpose. The function of vegetarianism must be complemented with an understanding of what that path of food will lead you to. The function of omnivorous eating leads your body to a function or a path of being. The function of raw food leads your body to a path of being, your path of being. What you are aspiring to, not what your body is trying to lead you to. So you may want to shift into a type of eating that raises the frequency of your body in alignment with the purpose of your being and why you have chosen to function here in this world at this time. That's pretty clear. I love that. Yeah, so many new. Yeah, I hear that. Will my first son give me a grandchild? I'm getting yes. I'm getting a strong yes for that. I'm just getting repeat questions here. 42. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, I understand. Question: does my grandpa have anything to say to me? Yes, he does. He says, stop hurrying around. Remember what I taught you. Think. Be mindful. Be aware. Yeah. And sit and go fishing. Sit and go fishing. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I lost my dad, Charlie, 4 years ago. I've had so much happen since. Does he have any advice for me? I can't quite see your name. Charlene? I think that's it. If I, yeah. Christine. Yeah, Christine. He's saying, do not let yourself go into despair. He's saying, stand really strong, like you felt when I was in flesh. Stand really strong. If you knew that I am with you right now, you would have so much less concern. You know that you would have so much less concern if I were physically with you right now. And I am with you, just not in the flesh, but I am with you. Stand as I taught you to stand. He's saying he wants me to clarify that that's a metaphor, that your character and your fearlessness are the things that are going to be your great strengths in the coming weeks. He said, there's a big surprise coming. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Oh yeah, we already got to that. What should I do to enhance my communication with the spirit realm? Sign up for the masterclass. Literally. Terry, sign up for the masterclass 101 Awakening. You will learn simple, easy to apply mechanisms that will teach you to train your inner sight, your inner hearing, your inner knowing to become enhanced. Most people are using what they think and remember to try and understand. You're not going to get it through what you think and remember from the past. You need to awaken your clairs, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, and they'll teach you how to do that. They'll instruct you in the way of how to sense and feel the presence of their energy. There are teaching devices that we use that will enhance these inner faculties and incline them to open up. If you want to open up those inner faculties, go sign up for the masterclass today. You got 5 more days to sign up for it. Masterclass 101 Awakening. It's at williammichaelforbes.com. In the shop, you'll be able to find it and get all the details about the course. It's extremely inexpensive, and the value of what you will get will be far exceeding what you will pay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Someone told me my guide is angry with me. Is that possible? No. If somebody is telling you that a guide is angry with you, your guides will never be angry with you. They'll be firm, but they'll never. That's a low vibrational energy. They're always encouraging. They're always inspiring. They're always uplifting. They're never angry with you. So whoever said that is tuned into a lower vibrational energy. Now, that might be possible too, that you've connected to a lower vibrational energy. All you need to do is shift yourself away from fear towards love, and you'll change who you connect to. But no, lower vibrational beings can be angry with you, and they'll instill fear in you, and they'll do things like that. Lower vibrational entities will do that. And like I said, what they've told me is around the world, politicians and leaders, many people in positions of great authority of business and commerce are being governed by low vibrational energies that use fear and anger, control, power, authority. Presidents, prime ministers, business leaders, many are being influenced by these lower vibrational energies that use fear and anger, manipulation and control. And oftentimes they can use fear manipulation with very sweet sounding ideas and value voices and things like that. So be mindful. But your guides, if they're really your guides, will never use anger on you, ever. They won't use anger. They won't use fear. They'll give you information. They'll give you inspiration. They'll give you ideas that you can elect to follow or not. But they'll never force you to do anything. They'll never make you say you have to do this. But they'll say, if you do this, this is what will happen. And if you don't do this, this is what will happen. But they'll never try to make you or force you to do anything, right? They'll provide you with opportunities of information. But great question. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I got that. Thank you. Terry is asking, who's been trying to contact me from the spirit realm? The being that you know of, the spiritual entity you know of as Pan, has been seeking to connect with you. And you can connect more thoroughly with him when you're connected more intimately to the earth. So go out if you've got a backyard or you've got a forest. This forests are really good for connecting with him and his energy. Go into a forest, get your bare feet on the ground, but you need to be around a place where you're grounded to the earth, because a lot of people are disconnected from the earth right now with shoes and clothing, and technology disconnects a lot of people from being grounded. Yes, but he's been trying to connect with you for a while. He says he's got a host of these beings that work in the devas, fairies, gnomes, other types of beings that are on those dimensional planes of frequency that you can connect with through him. But you need to connect in first. Go to a forest, go to a place where you can really get connected to the earth, physically connect the earth. No rubber-soled shoes between you and the earth. Or if you can't do that, get leather-soled shoes, because leather will let conductivity from the earth come through it, or leather gloves where you can connect to trees if you're in a cold climate. But you need to make direct contact with the earth so the body's grounded. Then let yourself be open to receiving communication from Pan in the way that he's able to communicate to you, because your guides and angels, other beings, will connect you on the level that you're able to receive. They can't connect you on a level you cannot receive. They can only connect to us on a level that you can receive. That happens to a lot of people with number sequences and other things like that. Hello, Shantae. Good to see you. Oh, hi, Brad. That's a very interesting statement. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. There we go. How can I raise my vibration before surgery? Great question. Go in raising your vibration before your surgery. First of all, you don't want to do anything other than to perceive the outcome before it happens. Let us say right now, consider this possibility. The surgery you've gone through has gone perfectly, and every doctor and every nurse that participated in it was joyful and happy and loved their work, and were delighted at the opportunity to assist you in your healing journey. And now the surgery is done, and you can feel the new way that you know your body feels. Dwell on these things, the idea that these beautiful, wonderful surgeons have done a perfect and beautiful job in their function, and that you're already through it, and that you are on the other side of it. And get into the feeling of that it's done, it's complete. I'm whole, I'm perfect, I'm vital, I'm strong, I'm powerful. Get into the energy of that it is already done. Go deeply into that. And even when you're being wheeled into the surgeon's, the surgery bay, go into that state. I'm so grateful that this is so perfect and everything has worked out perfectly for me. And all the people involved have known exactly what to do in the right way for me. Get into the energy of the outcome you want from start to finish, and always be in that energy between now until it's completed. And that's the result you'll get. It's very simple. Creation is very simple. You're all creators. Vertical's asking, what's holding my friend back from contacting me? There's an old frustration and anger that each of you held in your heart. You need to release that. Hold them in your mind and sense in yourself where that frustration and that fear of not connecting has been, and say, I release all fear from this relationship, and I connect with gratitude and joy with this one. Make those statements. I release all fear from this relationship, and I connect with love and gratitude with this person. And do that for a few minutes every day, and they'll connect to you fairly quickly. Once you release that fear, the connection will happen instantly. The phone will ring. I wouldn't be surprised if it rang right now. It's wonderful. Hi there. There we go. No, we know that. Okay, we're gonna block that user. Sorry, I'm just cleaning things up. Can I log a chat owner or a moderator? Oh, I see. We're going to clear this out. We can do that. That's for sure. So I'm just blocking and deleting some comments that don't belong on YouTube or Facebook. Please, I need to say this, everybody. Listen, there are fraudsters out there. There are people who will take advantage of you. I will not send you direct messages requesting that you book a reading with me. I will not send a direct message to you. I will not ask you for money. I will not ask you to send me cryptocurrency. The only place that I will suggest you book a reading with me will be here on my live events. But I will never ask you for money through a direct message, period. I'd suggest if you want to ask a question, you can use the Linktree link in my TikTok bio or under any of my live videos. You can use a Linktree link. If you want to ask a question, make a donation for a question, you can do that there. But I will never DM you, okay? Remember that. And be safe out there, because there's people that are trying to take advantage of good people, right? Be mindful of that, please. I get that. Yeah, we got that. I got time for a couple more questions. We got that. A lot of the same questions, eh? I work as a music teacher, love my students, but have enemies, colleagues. Should I change my job? Again, if you love your work, move into the same energy. Like, those who are your enemies because they might envy you. But if you have nothing in your heart but love towards them, like any animosity you feel from them, just send them your grace. Because I know you love your students. That's what he's telling me right now. He's one of your guardian angels. Says you really love your students. And you should not let your love be diminished by the fears of others. Do not let your love be diminished by the fears of others. Again, if they are angry or upset with you, just simply release that with love and grace. Or talk to them. Why are you upset with me? What's really bothering you? Right? I've been stuck in depression for years since Mom died. Wow, thank you for that. It's time. You've been stuck in depression for years because you have not been listening to your mom. Your mom loves you very much. She's still with you. She's been trying to guide you away from your pain and suffering. She wants you to know, I am not dead. She wants you to know, I am alive. I'm with you. Right? You have to remember, our masterclass 102 is an incredible resource for learning how to overcome old emotions. Once you realize that your mom her energy's been with you all along, she's never left your side. You realize there's nothing to be sad about. We get this illusion of what life and death is. Come to our masterclass. We've had people who have had chronic anxiety, depression, that have just let them go. They've learned how to change their energy. Because emotion is just your energy. And you've been thinking, feeling, and believing that your life is not that good since your mother passed on. And because you've been thinking, feeling, and believing that, you're creating energy that makes you feel that way. Sign up for the masterclass. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and sign up for the masterclass 102 for you. If you're dealing with strong emotional energies, masterclass 102 is the course for anybody who wants to overcome long-standing, deep, entrenched emotions that are stuck in your body, because you need to learn how to liberate them from your body. Otherwise, they'll just be persistent. Oh, thank you for that bouquet of flowers, Vanessa. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yes, you are. Hello from Ireland. Really need guidance. Hi. You really need guidance? Teach your body to be still and your mind to be quiet. Everybody needs it. This is the biggest pandemic on the planet is fear. That's the biggest and only pandemic on this planet is fear. And they keep telling me the same thing to tell everybody. You need to teach your mind and body to be still and quiet. It is not that difficult if you apply some simple mechanisms towards your mind and body. Breathe slow and deeply. Give your body permission to relax. Release it from the emotional energy that your mind is continually building up in it. Instruct your body to relax, and then likewise instruct your mind to be still, to be quiet, to be peaceful. You have that authority. You have that authority to instruct your mind to be still and quiet. Give your mind permission and your body permission to be still and quiet. You need to be in an environment where you can learn this, because the environment you may be in may not be conducive, but you can still learn to teach your mind to be still and your body to be still, and both to be silent. And in there you'll begin to rediscover the peace that is your natural state of being. Peace is your natural state of being. You were born into this world in peace. And only this world has given you cause for being disturbed. And you may in any moment restore your peace. In any moment, you may restore your peace with the act of the breath. Wow. Thank you. Thank you from Ireland, everybody. Let's go way down here, scroll way down. Wow, a lot of questions. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Sarah, is there anything from my daughter? She's just showing me a bouquet of 3 roses. She's showing me a yellow rose, a red rose, and a white rose, all together, but they're tied with a white bow, and they're kind of entwined with each other. So like the stems are braided, but the red, the white, and the yellow rose are at the top, and they're held together by this white rhythm. She's saying that you were her best friend, that you were her mom, that she loves you. These things were very important to her. She really was grateful that you were all of those things: a friend, a mother, and a confidant. And these are what these 3 roses represent, that she wants you to know that those were really important to her, that you were all those things to her. Wow, thank you. Bethany, will my middle daughter talk to us soon? I'm not sure if I tune into her. Again, if you're afraid that she's not going to talk to you, you're putting up a barrier. The minute you have any negative emotional energy, you create an outcome. The separation is happening because of that disconnect in energy. So everybody that's involved needs to go into a state of love and grace. Like be grateful. Even if you don't have a reason to be grateful, choose to be grateful anyway. Right? Okay, let's see what we got here. I think one more question. Okay. What does it mean if you always remember your dreams every single night? It means your mind is still too busy. Your mind is way too busy. You need to get into a practice of meditation if you're not already. You need to teach your mind to be still and quiet, because you're not getting a lot of rest. That way, with the mind being so busy, your mind is thinking while you're asleep, and you need to get it to be quiet so your body can rejuvenate and re-energize properly. Your mind is getting in the way of the body being fully rejuvenated and re-energized. So you need to teach the mind to be still. So when you go to bed at night, lie there and say to the mind to sleep deeply and peacefully. Tell your mind and body that you will sleep deeply and peacefully all night long, and you will awaken refreshed, rejuvenated, and re-energized. And tell that to your mind and body and repeat that as the body goes to sleep. And then you'll start to get a different quality of rest as a result of that, because your mind is just going, yeah, all the time. Like most people's minds do that, right? During the daytime, going on in the background. Yeah, I see that. Okay, guys, I think we're just about done. Someone's saying here, today would have been mine and my husband's 25th anniversary. He passed 9 months ago. Does he have any message for me about this day? Celebrate. The song, that song, celebrate, dance to the music. That's the song he's giving me to tell you. Celebrate, dance to the music. Yeah, you guys love to dance. So celebrate, dance to music. I am like, he's literally, I don't know if you can feel the energy of him just sparkling around you right now, but that's what he wants you to do today. Dance and celebrate to the music. Wow. Thank you. Got goosebumps all over. It's really cool. Okay, what do we see? We're sitting here at 48,000 likes today. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that on TikTok. 48,000 likes. That's pretty impressive. Again, every time you like or share or subscribe, give this a thumbs up, heart this, you instruct the algorithm that there's an interest for this material, and the people that need this information will receive it. That's just the way Spirit works. It knows who needs it and how much they need it. So whatever you can do to bring the algorithm up, do it. Hi, William. Who has been trying to contact me from the spirit realm? I'm getting this name, Gordon. The name that's coming up for me is Gordon has been trying to get in touch with you. And he's saying something about a 57 Chevy. That's what I'm getting. It's a person named Gordon and something about a 57 Chevy. So he's saying that should be sufficient enough. Yeah, I know they keep me. Why they keep me here? Thank you. Hello from the Netherlands. Good to see you here. Hi, Sufi. Good to see you, Daniela. Wonderful. Wonderful. Will Crystal's new job be good for us? Yes, as long as she embraces it with love. Because when you ask a question like that, you're already holding uncertainty. No, this job's going to be amazing for you. And it's going to lead to something else that you can't see right now. But it's going to lead to something else that will be more fulfilling. But enjoy it with love right now. Like really get into it lovingly. Oh, you're welcome, Drusilla. Do I need a moderator on another channel? I may need a moderator on TikTok, and I may need a moderator. I don't think I can have a moderator on Facebook. Let's see here. Wow, we just passed the 51,000 like mark on this. It's on TikTok. Does my brother have anything to tell me? No, he's not. He's not in the realm of the non-physical. He's come back into a physical embodiment. He's in the physical realm again. I can tune into his higher. Do you have anything you want to say to this one? He's just showing me hockey sticks and hockey equipment. He's just showing me hockey sticks and hockey equipment, and a locker room. And there's people with him in this locker room. Good times, really good times. Really good times. That's what he's able to communicate to me from where he is in consciousness now. Wow, thank you. Hi, guys. Do Does my brother have a message? Yeah, love, 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 love. Someone saying, can you please say something to me? Please. Yeah. Lift your heart up. You need to realize that a lot of the suffering that you're in was given to you, as it has been with many people. But for you particularly, you believe that somehow you're responsible, that you're exclusively responsible for the suffering that you're going through. You're responsible for alleviating it. But I'm being told to tell you that you do not have to take all the responsibility for what happened. Don't carry the burden of what happened by yourself. Others were responsible too. But you are responsible for transcending this low energy that you're in. You are responsible for healing that. Again, you want to learn to transcend your suffering, sign up for the master classes. I think I'm getting the vibration that we're done today. I am truly grateful for all of you today for coming out. I'll never get to all these questions, but if you do have a question, you can go to my Linktree link on my bio or Linktree link below any one of my live videos on my YouTube channel and click the Linktree link if you want to ask a question. If you want to book a reading with me, a one-on-one session, you can do that as well. And again, more importantly, sign up for the masterclass and learn directly from the Ascended Masters and the guides and the archangels and the other beings that are here to work with us. Learn to connect to your guides, your angels, so that you're not walking through life feeling alone, because you're never alone. You're never, ever alone. Anyway, much love, everybody. Thank you so much for your time, your support, and sharing this space with all of us. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. And I will see you guys on the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts Your Soul. On TikTok, I will see you guys tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's where I'll be on Tuesdays and Thursdays evening on TikTok at 8 p.m. Much love, everybody. Bye for now. Have yourselves a wonderful, joyful day. And remember, today is a brand new day, and this is a brand new moment. Bye for now.